Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a very overcast morning here. It's Sunday, which means it's indeed the last chance to see these cars going around a circuit racing. And well, we've got race 2 here from Zolder. As you can see, we've got the cars on the grid right now, waiting ever so patiently for the race start. And if yesterday was anything to go by, we were in for a bit of a classic race. As we look on board here with our pole sitter, yesterday's race winner as well. That is Huub van Eindhoven. Maybe not necessarily the fastest on track yesterday, but did the hard work early in the race. Was able to hang on for the race victory. Will he be able to do the same again? Will it be double bubble? Well, it remains to be seen. This man, though, he was the fastest out on circuit consistently. Glenn van Parijs was closing down at a rate of knots. Didn't quite get the job done. Finished on the podium, though, and he will be looking to go one better today. 10:43 local time. Chips and mayonnaise? Absolutely. Next on the grid then is Dylan de Dale, who lost the championship lead yesterday to Huub van Eindhoven, so will want to try and get up into the front as soon as he possibly can. And then we've got our first AM driver then, Jan Larison. Yesterday had a bit of a big shunt, actually. Today has a chance to put that right. Starts 4th on the grid. We'll be looking to score some big points today. Thierry Vermeulen then, yesterday got a very bad start, and ultimately that ruined his chances in the race. So today, he's just got to focus on getting off the line pretty well here, and then potentially getting himself involved in the fight at the sharp end of the grid. Starts P5. P6 then will be Xavier Masson. He was also involved in the incident with Larison. He'll want to try and indeed put the wrongs from yesterday right as well. Steven Van Rie, pretty consistent yesterday. Managed to finish up into P4. Kind of took advantage of everyone else making mistakes around him, but definitely started hooking up some laps together. John de Wilder will start then in 6th position. Floris Delart then, the next driver on the grid. Our first Pro-Am on the grid. Nicolas Salins then from the team Belgium Racing in the number 97. Our second Pro-Am on the grid. Starts on the 4th row in P8. Or shall I say 5th row, P10. Getting carried away already. Ziad Garris then in the number 3. Another of our Pro-Am drivers from Team GP Elite is going to start just outside the top 10 in 11th. As you can start to hear some of the cars start their engines. Luc van der Viesten for Team PGZ. So lots of fans here today. Get to see their first experience of our Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. I'll tell you what, they will not be disappointed. It's a fantastic championship. And if yesterday is anything to go by, we're in for an absolute classic of a race today. So they've got one full formation lap here, and then we will get racing. And off we go. So can Huub van Eindhoven make it 2 from 2? Or are we going to see any... surprises today? I'm sure there's going to be surprises up us. It looks like the sun has actually started to come out here. So it's been very cloudy all morning. But it would appear that we're in pretty good nick. Here is your official grid then. Huub van Eindhoven and Glen van Parijs are on the front row. Dylan Derdale and Jan Larison. Thierry Vermeulen and Xavier Masson. Steven Van Ree and John de Wilder. Floris Dullard and Nicholas Salins are your top 10. Then we've got Ziad Gerris, Luc van der Viesten, Philip Toomkens, André Mukavos, Konstantin Zakarevsky, Ghislaine Cordial, Jeroen Kreeft, Sebastian Fremuth, and Nicholas van Derendonk. So Fremuth all the way down to P18. So it's going to be interesting to watch Fremuth come through the pack here, because he's only 2.5 tenths actually slow. Looks like he's got a penalty. So let's have a quick glance then at what the standings are after round number 1. So thank you to Olivier for indeed throwing some information my way this morning. Really do appreciate it. Huub van Eindhoven then leads the championship now by 1 point. So he took the lead from Derdale. Derdale starting in P3 today. We've then got Glen van Parijs, who is only 6 points back. So if he can get ahead here of Huub van Eindhoven, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The last 4 races of this championship are very interesting indeed. And I'm actually going to be commentating for them as well, so I'm excited for this. This is going to be good. We've then got Steven Van Ree, who's on 75 points, so really needs a race victory to get himself involved. And then we've got Sebastian Fremuth, who starts P18 all the way down the back of the order. He is on 71 points. So again, the front 3 are the ones that are really close here. We then go to the Pro-Am Championship. Nicholas Salins on 138 points. He's 4 points clear of Floris Dullard. They both start very close on the grid to each other. Then they've got Ziad Gerris as well, who's about 36 points behind. And then we've got the AM Championship. Jan Larison, who starts P4, by the way, in overall, is on 150 points here. Pretty much could put himself one hand on the trophy, if you like, if he gets a good result in this race. So on the grid we go then, ladies and gentlemen. And can Huub van Eindhoven make it 2 wins from 2 this weekend? So here we go. Green flag going out. It is race number 2 here from the weekend of Zolder. Can Huub van Eindhoven make it 2 from 2? Or are we going to see Glen van Parijs get off the line well here? Thierry Vermeulen in the number 69 in the background there is actually got a good start here. Such a terrible start then from second in the championship, Derdale, as it goes 3 wide, then down in towards turn number 1. It looks like Larison's the one who's going to lose out here. He's got that blue car trying to go around the outside. And I tell you what, Van Parijs needs to get ahead here as soon as he possibly can. Has the inside line through 2. And I tell you what, he's got it done. Huub van Eindhoven, though, is going to get turned around. Oh, just about. Gets out of the power there, does Derdale, and nearly cost Van Eindhoven the chance of running in this race. As they come then through turn number 3, it is very, very close indeed. And well, it is Glen van Parijs who needed to get into the lead. Yesterday showed probably the best outright pace out of everybody. And while you can see here, Derdale trying to get ahead here of Huub van Eindhoven. Van Parijs makes a mistake under braking, locks up then, and through the second chicane we go. Huub's gone from P1 down to P3, and these 3 then are in for an absolute crackerjack of a race. Larison has got back ahead then of Vermeulen. Vermeulen then is now in P5 in the number 69. Van Ree then is in 6th. Marson is in 7th position. And wow, everyone's really close now. John de Wilder then is in 8th position. Salins is in 9th. And then we have indeed got ourselves Ziad Gerris, the Pro-Am, in your top 10. But it's all changed at the front then. Huub van Eindhoven has dropped down here, did not get off the line overly well. And actually now P3 again, Derdale is into P2. So Van Parijs leads the way. And well, as it stands, with Van Parijs being only 6 points behind Huub van Eindhoven, this is looking very, very good in terms of how the championship outlook will be. And I think Van Parijs would actually, ironically, take the lead of the championship, and then we'd have De Dale, who would be tied with him, and then Huub van Eindhoven would maybe be 2 points behind. So this is literally perfect to set out the championship, but ultimately none of these drivers are going to be resting on their laurels. They're going to be wanting to gain some positions as soon as they possibly can. Already up into P12, by the way, Freemuth coming through the pack very quickly indeed. But again, up the front end, it is indeed Van Parijs. It is indeed De Dale, Eindhoven, and then we've got Larison in your P4. Larison then under a little bit of pressure here from Vermeulen. And at number 69, again, gets off the line well, which yesterday didn't. Lost about 4 positions. But they're under pressure from Stephen Van Rie, and Van Rie sends one up the inside of the chicane here, and there's definitely, there was nearly going to be contact there. Not much Thierry could have done there. Yeah, not much could have been done there to avoid that, that's for sure. As they come then in towards the second chicane. And at this stage of the race, you just kind of want to put yourself in a position where you're just chilling. You know, you're in a nice, cool, calm, collected state. Don't really want to have too much pressure from behind. Don't really want to be putting too much pressure on people in front. You just kind of want to get yourself into a nice rhythm, and then you can sort of work your way into the race. That's exactly what Glenn Van Parijs did yesterday. He had to make a few overtakes early in the race, but he got himself into a rhythm, was able to chase down the leader. Didn't quite get the race victory, but today he is already half a second in the lead, Van Parijs, and that's a fair old chunk of time as they come around the final corners here. And oh, there's a big mistake there actually. Big tank slapper from Glenn Van Parijs. Flash of the lights then from behind. I think De Dale realises that he may be feeling the pressure of leading out this race. And everybody in a pretty good state as it stands. Someone was using the windscreen wipers there. I was just wondering whether we might have a bit of spitting of rain. Again, that is the big telltale sign if it's raining, if people are using their windscreen wipers. That 1.1 second then separating the top 3 as it stands. Wonder if Larison might want to think about getting involved here again. He's going to score maximum points for the AM category if he sticks around where he is. But whether he could score more points for the overall championship, that remains to be seen. Through the first chicane again, all hopping over the curbs. These cars look delicious coming through those curbs, don't they? It's like they were born to hit these curbs. So many different lines through there. And then through the second chicane. And I'll tell you what, the one who's really putting the hammer down here is De Dale, isn't it? De Dale is so close here. And well, are we going to see, as it stands, we've got 2 Belgians in P1 and P2. So are we going to see a Belgian on the top step of the podium in Belgium? It's exactly what the fans will want to see, that's for sure. As we come into towards the final sector of this Zolder circuit. Front 3 then. You could cover them in a blanket. Larison also involved here. Thierry Vermeulen, unfortunately, just dropping off ever so slightly. Again, not a huge margin between them, but yeah, big enough as it stands. And it is ebbing and flowing nicely here. Again, staying in the same sort of order. Let's check out Freemuth as well. Again, we expect him to be coming through the pack. Up to P11 now. He needs to gain a couple more seconds then to get up into that top 10. But Freemuth is on the charge. That is for certain. Van Rie under a bit of pressure here from Xavier Martins. As the sun really is now starting to come out here. It's starting to maybe bake the track. Might see a bit quicker times as the track gets a little bit warmer. And oh, no, there's a car at the background here who did not get off the line well at all. And the start is absolutely huge. Freemuth, by the way, gained about 4 positions down in towards turn 1. He's got a different livery today. So I'm wondering whether Freemuth's got 2 cars or they've just repainted it today. Because yesterday it was a funky blue and yellow. And today it's like a multicolored car. It looks really nice. So here's the lockup then on lap number 1. So that may come back to haunt Van Parijs later on in this race. Is all dear, number 22. That is not good at all. So Andre Mukovoz, is that? Oh, got going again here. So it must have been a little bit of a mistake out of the chicane here because he seems to be going pretty well. So is there a mistake? Oh, here we go. So trying to make a move here. Locks up. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Goes through sideways. Gets the car sorted. Yeah, gets the car straightened. Say, the entry looked cool. Not very fast, though. Mukovoz trying to make a sassy little move. Ultimately, it's probably just lost the tyre. As the marshal there is just like, yep, nope, 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 nope. You go that way, I'll go this way. Getting ready to wave the yellow flag preemptively. Fair play, doesn't need to. Mukavos gets the car going. All good in the hood. We're on board then with Stephen Van Ree. Van Ree currently in P6, Xavier Marson in P7. These two are the closest out on track as it stands, although Eindhoven is right in behind De Dale, because De Dale's dropped off of Van Parijs. Mukavos into the pits then. Looks like he may have killed that tyre, which is, yeah, they only last for 30 minutes as it is. So, you know, as soon as you put them under that kind of pressure, you're in a little bit of trouble, that's for sure. Over the crest we come then. The battle for P2 is warming up nicely here, coming up to the boil for sure. Second chicane. And De Dale does not want to be leaving the door open, because in this class, if the door's open, the door then gets kicked through, that's for sure. And there we go. So we're just getting one tyre changed here. Doesn't look like we're going to be getting any more. We're trying to put the air pressure jack into the car by the looks of things. Ooh, Larison there, stepping out. Just about keeps the car in check. And again, it's very unique, these cars, considering the lack of assists with the car. So it's much more about the driver. So that's why you see the cars taking so many different lines. That's why you see the car step out every now and again. And you see the different control methods that the drivers will use. That's why it's such a fascinating championship. Glenn Van Parijs then, yesterday. The first 20 minutes of the race, he was so fast. Again, he was caught in traffic for the most part, but was managing to make overtakes. Then he got to P2, and he chased down Huub van Eindhoven. About 3 seconds it was he chased down. Wasn't able to get the race victory, but this week, well, this race, should I say, he is golden here. As you can see, Huub van Eindhoven, he got caught out, didn't he? Got caught napping. And up the inside, De Dale goes. And again, De Dale lost the championship lead yesterday to Huub van Eindhoven, so he'll want to be trying to regain that as soon as he possibly can by just being in front of him. Ooh. Actually, yeah, he does cut the chicane there, doesn't he? So I'm wondering whether the stewards are going to make him give that position back. Hasn't happened as of yet. But the fact that we're seeing a replay of it is that gives the potential of it having to be given back. Konstantin Zakharevsky, we were just on board there with number 20. There's a bit of rubber from the bottom of the bumper on the splitter. It's on the circuit there from someone's car. I would imagine that would be Mukavos, because that was through the same part of the circuit where Mukavos had his little moment. Front four now have kind of got away here. Thierry Vermeulen is just not able to really keep with Larison. Again, I'll be super impressed with Larison this weekend. Again, the lead arm driver by quite the margin, running with the real front end of this grid. And again, some of these drivers have got so much experience with the car, so much experience with the championship. So for him to be running at the front end like he is, it's very impressive. Again, he makes his he made his mistake yesterday, of course, which has cost a couple of people their chances of big points. But ultimately, if you learn from that and move on, you're going to become a better driver. But yeah, the front four as it stands, then Van Parijs, De Dale. Then we've got Eindhoven, who's just not quite as close to De Dale as he once was. We've got Larison, and then we've got Vermeulen in that number 69. Van Rieden is in 6th position. Xavier Marson is in 7th. De Wilder is in 8th. Salins is in 9th. And then we've got Freymouth is in the top 10 as it stands. Ghislaine Cordeel's just moved up into P11. Then in number 4, we've got Floris Dullard, again a Pro-Am driver. And then we've got in P13? P13, we've got Ziad Geris. Toonkens then, Philip Toonkens in the number 55 and 14th position. Then we've got Luc van der Feesten. What a name that is, by the way. Is look at this then, Van Ree is right up in behind Thierry Vermeulen. This is a battle that was happening pretty much all race yesterday. And we're going to see this happen once again. Again, pins Vermeulen onto the apex there, gets squeezed and has to back out. And now under pressure here then from Xavier Marson. This is perfect for the front four. The front four are going to be able to drive away if these three keep going at it. And Vermeulen there, again, using his windscreen wipers. I'm wondering if, again, there's a little bit of a sprinkling on circuit right now. So I've been informed that we're not expecting rain until around about 4 p.m. today. And, well, that's a big squeeze off circuit there. Xavier Marson trying to make a move around the outside of turn number 1. Van Ree is just like, Van, no, not today. Off you go. Very aggressive. You shall not pass. Now they all live to fight another day. So we're going to see these all close up once again. But yeah, we're not expecting to see any rain here today. Well, here's the potential overtake then towards the final chicane. Yeah, there you go. You can see the Van Rie had to back out. And then Judy did exactly the same to Marson as what Vermeulen did to him. Here we go. So you're going to see Vermeulen, of course, has just squeezed Van Rie. And then Van Rie's just gone, yeah, okay, I can do that as well to you. So I don't think he'll be complaining about the Vermeulen move there. Oh, that is an interesting way of dealing with holding on to a position, to say the very least. So these three in behind then are just costing each other the chance to close up to the leaders by battling, but ultimately, with only 17 minutes or 18 minutes to go of this race, if you want to make your advances through this race, you've got to make overtakes. Again, the windscreen wiper is going off. Are we starting to see some wet stuff come down? Larison now 2.2 seconds behind Eindhoven. Eindhoven really close to De Dale, by the way. De Dale's starting to really struggle now. Van Parijs is off into the distance. There you go. You see the difference between P1, 2, and 3. And the Belgian looking to take the Belgian spoils. The prize for this race is a ton of Belgian chocolate. Oh, wish I was in the race. It's all the motivation I need. Along the back straight they come then down in towards then the first chicane. Van Eindhoven, they're flashing his lights just to say hi. Still behind you. And of course, De Dale is going to know that. He's got a big green car on his rear view mirror. And comes through the chicane there very quickly indeed. And takes out the fake bollard through the left-hander here. Van Eindhoven not quite close enough to force a move here, but he is now starting to fly. So is he doing similarly to what Van Parijs did yesterday, where he's just chilling, making sure his tyres aren't burnt out by the end of this race, and then just absolutely flat out for the second half of the race? It seems like it was the perfect strategy yesterday. Just wasn't able to make the overtake with Van Parijs, and Huub van Eindhoven did hold on. As it stands, it's going to be a double podium for all three of these drivers, actually. But in which order is it going to finish? 2.2 seconds now the advantage as they cross the line. I'm wondering if Van Parijs has managed to maybe extend that lead once again. So as they cross the timing beam, what is the timings this time? So it's just about 0.2 of a second extended here from our race leader. Huub van Eindhoven looks the quickest right now. He looks super, super fast. So again, is that just a bit of rubber? That's just a bit of rubber. It's all good. Oh no, it is plastic. Oh yeah, the potential then for a puncture is, well, look at all the gravel on the circuit. Luckily that part of the circuit isn't even used, so they're all on the curb there anyway. So Huub van Eindhoven, I think, will want to try and get this done as soon as he possibly can. He'll realise now he's faster, but ultimately these Porsches are quite wide as they are, and you can make them a little bit wider as well. They're very well known for their battling for position. So through this left-hander again, Huub van Eindhoven was a little bit closer last time out, and he didn't make a dive, so I don't think he's going to be able to do so this time either. Again, the usage of the curb there, got to maximise that. As they come through this right-hander, it is flat out, but ultimately you need to be hitting the apex absolutely perfectly, otherwise you've got to let off ever so slightly, and then you lose all sense of momentum down in towards the final sector. As they come through the right-hander, probably the trickiest corner on circuit. You see so many people there spin out, lose the car. There's Larison now being caught here by Van Rie, although Van Rie makes a very bad mistake here. And Xavier Marson, Vermeulen, by the way, or Vermeulen, is down into P7 here. So not good at all. So through that final chicane we go. And Marson not able to take advantage of that little mistake there from Van Rie. But I think with the slipstream now, there might be a diving coming into turn one. No, not quite. Incident between Eindhoven and De Dale is under investigation. So I didn't see that there was an incident, but I guess it was the overtake on lap number 1, where De Dale just slightly overextended the first chicane. So I guess that's what we'll be looking at, or I say we, not we at all. I'm not going to be looking at anything. So just have some information here. The winner of this championship will actually win themselves a ticket to the Porsche Motorsport Shootout at the end of the year. And it will make a chance to or give them a chance to become a Porsche Motorsport Junior. So yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So that's the prize. Become a Porsche Junior driver. Then, of course, you want to become a Porsche factory driver, and then job is a good one. Oh, well, there's the red and yellow flags. Just to denote that there's a little bit of debris still on the circuit here. So I don't think we're going to get any sort of safety go. Well, I'll tell you what, there might be another bit of debris on the circuit in a minute, because Van Eindhoven's splitter there, hanging off. Has it just been kicked off now? We'll see in a minute once we get a close-up of them. If the red's not on the bottom of the car anymore, we know that part of the car's disappeared. Eindhoven, by the way, if it has disappeared, it's not slowed him down, because he is right behind De Dale. Well, half of it's hanging off, half of it's still just there chilling. So we've got the half the red splitter at the front. And again, with the nature of these curbs here at Zolder, you expect to have a couple of bits of your car missing for sure. So we've got a replay here. So that is Ziad Geris, and I told you this is the toughest corner on the circuit. Only dips the 2 wheels onto the grass there. If that's all 4, you become more of a passenger. Very difficult to recover. But ultimately, does recover. Job is a good one. De Dale, though, has kind of figured stuff out. Now 0.6 of a second, or 0.7 now ahead of Eindhoven. And that is the biggest gap between these two drivers for the entirety of this race. Larison then is 3.3 seconds behind, but again, 1.9 seconds ahead. Where's Freymouth here? Freymouth is now, well, P10 in behind. Oh, no, he's not. It's P9, so he's just overtaken Salins. And next up for him then is De Wilder, but 3.4 seconds in 11.5 minutes. To be fair, yeah, I think that's potentially on to get a nice top 8. And there we go. We're on board right now. So next up then is De Wilder. Just on board with the 97, Nicholas Salins. And then we've got the number 2 there, Ghislaine Cordial. Cordial trying to come through for a top 10 as well. Potentially going to just step the nose out, not quite. And again, Freymouth with the funkiest livery. Look at the multicolored livery there with the silver as well. Yesterday it was blue and yellow. And again, I'd love to have that confirmed as to whether they've got 2 cars or they've actually repainted it in the evening. Because if they've repainted it, that is a hell of a job. Fair play. Van Parijs, though, he's the man on a mission. Number 15, we're on lap 13. 3.1 seconds in the lead. Once he's been given that opportunity to just flex those wings like a peacock, he's off into the distance. And again, we saw this sort of pace from him yesterday. He wasn't able to get the final overtake to win the race. But he's done what he needed to do. Because again, we're looking a little bit further back here. Freymouth now 3 seconds behind De Wilder. De Wilder is very, very close then to Vermeulen. Here's Vermeulen then locking up that front right. Under a lot of pressure here. So there's potential of 2 spots then for Freymouth. And Vermeulen, once battling right up the front end of this race, is just falling further and further backwards, unfortunately for him. Eindhoven maybe not quite got the pace now to challenge for that second. And if you're an avid follower of this championship, right now, this is the perfect way that this race could finish. Van Parijs winning, De Dale finishing in P2 and Eindhoven in P3. That means that they will be, I think, separated by 2 points. All 3 of them going into the next round of races with 4 races to go. So as they finish right now, this is, for the neutral, the best possible way so for them to be the closest possible at the end of this race. So pretty exciting. And again, I'm just estimating here. I'm trying to do live maths at the same time as commentate. But for me, I believe they're going to be separated by 2 points. And actually, it'll be De Dale and it'll be Van Parijs and Eindhoven that will be tied. Oh, sorry. Would it be... No, it'll be Van Parijs and De Dale that'll be tied. And Van Eindhoven will be 2 points behind. So yeah, very, very close indeed. Again, would need that confirmed. But Vermeulen then under all sorts of pressure here. Can he ward off that pressure? as Fremuth now is closing in very, very quickly indeed. De Wilder then looking for a sneaky little opportunity. 3 seconds gained by Fremuth, by the way, in 2 laps. So he's flying, dragging along the cars behind. But Vermeulen battling here with De Wilder has definitely cost him time here. And, well, Vermeulen is indicating to go into the pits, I think, here. I think he's got a problem, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure he's got a problem. So that is why Vermeulen's been dropping back this race, because there is definitely a mechanical issue here. And now he's freed up De Wilder, and now he's freed up Fremuth as well. So Fremuth could potentially make a move here through number 2. The door was open, had to back out though. And they've got the number 97 just in behind as well, of Nicholas Salins, and also Ghislaine Cordial. So right now, all of these drivers find themselves in the top 10. Fremuth, though, could be the driver looking to make a charge for a top 7. If he gets up to 7th position, for me, he'll get my vote for driver of the day. And remember, he started P18 in this race. P18, Fremuth. And right now, he's looking at, or staring down the barrel at a top 7. Of course, we know he's one of the quicker drivers within the championship, but still, you've got to get the job done. And it is not the friendliest of tracks for overtakes here. Dale, by the way, now 2 seconds behind Van Parijs. So Van Parijs then starting to maybe struggle here. Van Eindhoven is now nearly 2 seconds behind De Dale. So De Dale flying in P2. Are we going to potentially see him close up? So here we go through the first chicane there as the race leader comes through there and just tags the bollard, if you can call it a bollard. I think all 3 of them are going to hit that, aren't they? Yeah, they are. 3 for 3. Surprised it's still standing. But it is. So the gap then, yeah, definitely coming down. 2.1 seconds between first and second. 2.1 seconds between second and third then. And this little cluster of 4 cars still fighting strong. De Wilder trying his best to make that car as wide as possible. But ultimately doing a good enough job as it stands. So we're just on board then with the number 9, trying to get up to the top 5 with Van Ree just ahead. So half a second. We've only 5 minutes, 50 seconds to go here. So not long. This is now where people are going to start to get, I wouldn't say desperate, but you're going to see people take a few more chances here, especially if they're outside the top 5. Martin will want to try and get this done as soon as he possibly can as well. Stephen Van Riedo holding firm. So Van Parijs still 2.1 seconds the advantage, so not really changing there between P1 and P2. Again, at this moment in time, it is a Belgian 1-2 here in Zolder, and that will be received by the fans very, very nicely indeed. Fremuth, by the way, has finally got ahead here, up into what will be a P7. For me, what a drive that's been. That's been a sensational drive. As we're on board then with the number 99. Again, in P2 as it stands. Dealing with a bit of lap traffic here. Again, the lap vehicle they've just overtaken is very similarly looking to the race leader, so you could easily get that mistaken. It's not quite how it's come down to it, that's for sure. There's Van Ree still holding on to that P5 here. Martin not quite close enough to really pile on that pressure. And here's Larison then in that blue number 54. Larison actually a little bit faster potentially. Van Eindhoven's the potential for a podium for the AM driver, as they've got themselves Zakharevsky in between them. The back marker, the AM driver. And that must be quite the feeling, being Larison, just thinking, yeah, I'm in the AM category here, battling with the front drivers, but I'm actually lapping some of my fellow drivers in the AM category. So Really must be great for the ego. And there it goes. So finally, it falls off. And it's almost like they've all got that ability there. It's like a special ability. To put the car off behind you, you just get rid of the front splitter. Or the covering for it, anyway. So there's Muka Vos then, the car number 22. As we pan in then towards the second chicane, you can see it is flat out left-hander. And then you've got a braking zone. It's so hard to set your car up through there. And these drivers are just doing it perfectly. Lap in, lap out with 3 minutes left on the clock. So 2 laps remaining of this race once they cross the line. So Vermeulen is our only DNF today, which is very unfortunate. It looks like it was just a slow mechanical issue. Just dropping down the order, unfortunately. But it's been a relatively placid race. And I guess you'd expect that from the front three. The front three are so close in this championship. So it makes sense for them not to really battle with each other early in this race. You know, they've got bigger fish to fry. I feel like, you know, if this was the final race of the season, it would be a hell of a ding-dong. And maybe we're going to see it be as close as it is in the championship going into that final race. That would be so cool to see. Certainly much more excitement for me. But yeah, that remains to be seen. We've still got 4 more races remaining in this championship then. So, yeah, 2 laps remaining. Zolder for the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. So Van Ree has just held on here, really. Xavier Marson not able to get that move done. Not quite close enough now either. Maybe he's got some magic up his sleeve. And here we go. This was the big opportunity then, wasn't it? But it was a bit of a squeeze on from Van Ree that stopped the potential overtake. So here we go then. Van Ree gets squared up onto the apex. And right now he's ahead, isn't he? So Xavier Marson was ahead. He was running out of road, had to get off the power. And they both just come together. Luckily, they're both all good, still in the race. A loss of maybe a second or so. Nothing too crazy. So the lead now, 2.6 seconds. Eindhoven's dropped now to 4 seconds behind. This is still going down. So Van Ree needs to be wary here. The top 5 is on. He's got the top 5 in his back pocket. But Xavier Marson is just trying to pickpocket that back pocket. 1 lap remains here then, as they come up towards that final chicane. And will we see some fireworks on this final? I tell you what, we may see some fireworks, not just on the final lap, but the first corner of the final lap. Look at this. Marson is very close then. Van Ree is indeed going to defend he's not going to defend the inside line. Marston's going to try and send one up the inside, not quite close enough. Forces Van Ree to use all of the track on exit. But again, defending nicely. Opens up the right-hander a little bit better here than Van Ree. Van Ree's going to make a little bit of an error there. A lock-up, though, from Xavier Marson, which is probably going to stop him from being able to make an opportunity for himself. As they come up then towards the braking zone for this right-hander. Not the slowest corner on the circuit, but not the fastest either. And this is where potentially down in towards then the first chicane, Xavier Marson may be able to make this potential move for the top 5. Not quite close enough this time round. And well, how good of an exit can you get out of here over the crest through the left-hander down in towards that second chicane? Of course, what was just been exited by our race leader. We're on board with Van Parijs then, who's only got himself merely a couple of corners to go before he picks up a P1 here. P2 yesterday was very close to winning the race, just could not get that move done, was definitely the fastest man on circuit. And well, today, for sure the fastest man on circuit. Just 1 chicane to go as we're on board with De Dale as well in behind. And then we've got Van Eindhoven in P3. Through the final chicane we come then, and Van Parijs is going to take the checkered flag here. And it is going to be a Belgian winner in Zolder in the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Congratulations then to Van Parijs. It's a 1-2 for Belgium as De Dale and the number 99 picks up P2. And we've got Van Eindhoven then picking up his second podium of the weekend. The first and the third for him. Larison, the AM driver, P4. And Van Ree does hold on to P5. All of Xavier Marson, his advances towards that top 5 were battered away like a fly swatter, and indeed holds on to that P5. Freymuth then, what a drive it is for this young man. What a drive it was. P18 on the grid, finishes P7 in the race. A bit further back then, Ghislaine Cordial does finish in P8, De Wilder P9, and then we've got Salins in P10. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. What a race. So we're going to check out the replay here. And, well, the bollard's about to be taken out. There we go. So if you want to take out that bollard, it's happened twice this weekend. You've got to hit it with the rear of the car, and it has to be a Porsche. Ziad Geris was getting sick and tired of it, seeing it get hit and then just managing to stay up. And that is what you call beached. Not getting that car out of there, unfortunately. Gravel trap doing its job. Van Parijs, though, he's done his job. He's picked up P1. He's picked up maximum points for the race. And while this championship now is going to be very interesting indeed. The marshal there saying, right, go that way, go that way. Across the line then, we see it once again. It's lights to flag effectively once he got into the lead very early in this race. Fantastic performance once again. You can see how much it means there. Great drive, fantastic drive. And this championship is warming up beautifully well. 4 races to remain in this season, remember? And, well, we are pretty excited to be there. And, again, I can't confirm it, but I'm pretty sure I will be your commentator for the rest of the season. Which I hope's true. Pretty excited for that, not going to lie. As here's the official results then. Van Parijs P1, De Dale P2, Eindhoven P3, Larison, Van Rie, Marsen, Freymuth, Cordial, De Wilder, Salins then is your top 10. Again, great drive from Freymuth, who finishes down in P7, started P18. And then we've got Dullart, Toonkens, Van der Feesten, Geris, Zakarevsky, Kreeft, Mukovoz, and Vermeulen is a DNF. Unfortunately, we saw that with 5 laps to go. There we go, as they all now starting to celebrate.